So as a child, there was a tree outside my townhouse that I would always climb every day. I would climb it. And every day, my mom or my dad, they would have to come and get me out because I was too small to get back down. And then one day, when I climbed it, my parents, to teach me a lesson, they just left me up there for a good 2 hours. And I was in there and I was just holding on to the tree. So I think that was what formed my connection to trees, was that I had to stay there and I had to be one with the tree. So in some ways, the tree never left me. Like I say, I think I formed a connection. I talked with it, began to live with it, I smelled it, which is where my love of the tree bark goes to it. It was a beautiful 20-year-old maple tree that I was one with. And I can still recall the smell of it that day. If I'm walking around any forest, even on the street and the sidewalks, and I smell that, it brings me back to my childhood.
I grew up on an old apple orchard. So I grew up looking at my backyard was really beautiful. You know, just having it full of trees that produced fruit. It was great in the area that I grew up, and knowing that they provided nourishment for people really made me just fall that much more in love with the trees. You know, I remember the kids would go ride bikes, you know, or go play soccer, and I just really wanted to climb trees and get as close as I could to them.
I think it's important for people to understand that before there were humans, you know, there were trees, and there's trees that have been here long before we were ever here, and they'll be here for as long as we ever have. So I think it's important to understand trees and tree barks, and just to preserve them and to care for them, to talk to them, and to listen to them. They keep their distance now, and I can understand why. I don't keep any wood in the house. My house is all concrete, so I keep that all the way. I don't like to keep, you know, I think any wood should remain on the tree. So, you know, when you're anti-wood, my house is all concrete, all chairs, concrete. So that has impacted people. They aren't comfortable around me, literally and figuratively, where that's impacted the style of life that I have.
It's made a few things challenging. You know, knowing that I have such a desire for the tree and an absolute love for it, you know, I keep tree bark in my pocket. People don't quite understand it, but I don't surround myself with those kind of people.
My friend Eddie, we met, you know, just on a tree bark website about 7 years ago, sharing pictures and some videos. So I mean, he's really the only other person, you know, that I know that's around here.
Vance has been a huge help to really understanding who I am and why I feel the way I do about the trees. You know, he's opened my eyes to know that there's more people out there like me. It's been really big, you know. For years, you know, it was just me, the tree bark in my room, and now I have someone that I can go out into the forest with and not be ashamed of who I am.
Eddie's been a big impact to my life because he understands the connection that you can not only give with a tree, but you can receive from a tree. And you know, we talk a lot. We like to call them treeways that we have, where the three of us or two of us in a tree, we can talk back and forth, and we have that communication that goes and comes back, and we can, you know, there's been several days where we spent hours, you know, the three of us just talking and being one with nature.
The treeway is a very sensual, special time that we get to spend together. It's a time of reflection, and really it's a bonding experience. It's kind of secretive. I don't know if I can really share too much about that. You know, it's hard to see number 2 pencils, knowing where they came from, knowing what they've had to endure. You know, and just so little kids can try and scribble their names, it's not fair.
I don't use paper. Anything else that comes from a tree, I'm very against it. So I try to explain to people it's like I'm like a vegan, but you know, with trees.
I have bidets in my house, and I typically try and stay at hotels that have working bidets. It gets challenging, you know, but you come up with new creative ideas to make it work, and I'm all about new creative ways to make it work.
Exner's maple syrup, you know, that's comes from my trees that I talk to. So it's unlike these other, you know, maple syrups where they just, you know, go to the tree, get it. You know, this has come from a tree that has a close connection with me. So I will, you know, I only do them with, I vet each tree that I take the maple syrup from. You know, we require at least, you know, 40 hours of a dialogue between myself and that tree that I take it from. So it's very specific, and you know that with my maple syrup, you're getting not only quality taste, but quality tree.
Kid had it coming. He was assaulting the tree. I mean, it was in plain daylight. You know, I mean, a mother would defend his child, right? You know, so what we were doing, we were just protecting one of our own.
Well, while I do support their general idea, frankly, I think they could be going a little harder. You know, just there's only certain locations where they're actually fighting. When it's not just the rainforest, it's all over. It's the Midwest, you know, where we could be saving a lot more trees. So I think that there's a lot more that can be done. So they call themselves tree activists, but I just think they're bogus.